Good evening. Welcome to the Nikki Clarke Show. And how is everybody doing? All right. I love it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a beautiful Tuesday night here in the GOlive studios, and I am so thrilled to be back to share some incredible stories of transformation. The show is about inviting people from all walks of life to share their heart stories, their stories of upliftment, and we are so excited to have yet another stellar guest on the show who's got an incredible story to share with you. He is an author and an influencer, and I'm so happy to have purchased his incredible book, Watch Out, It's Nolan. So we'll talk about that. Please welcome Dark Joseph Ravine.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for being here and taking the time to tell us a little bit about your incredible journey. So, tell us about your background leading up to what you're doing today.
So, as you know, I was bullied as a child, and I suffered a lot of, racism and discrimination from kids, from educators, from therapists. I also suffered a lot of depression and sadness in my life, and so I rose to happiness the day I found my self-worth and the way I searched far and wide to find what really makes me happy. And I've always been dedicated to inspire others to know about their self-worth, and I hope that I could be the one helping people realize how important their self-worth is and how they can bring that out to other people and rise above all negativity as much as they can and be the best they can be.
Amazing. Well, you have reached so much in success.
Yes.
And I thank you so much for the courage you have to share your personal story.
Mm-hmm.
I always say sometimes the pain in life creates purpose, and you've definitely created a purpose for it. So the book that you have, and thank you for signing it for me.
Of course.
I like what you wrote. You said your self-worth is more important than you think.
Yes.
And it's a message I needed to hear today.
Yeah.
Not every day is fantastic, but you get through and you learn through the lessons. But this book is about I guess kind of a little bit of your experience of being bullied.
100%.
And so can you tell us about what motivated you and what can the reader learn from reading this?
I'm glad you're asking me that. So the whole purpose of my book personally is really not only for kids and adults to also understand, treat people the way you want to be treated and how powerful karma is, and not only for kids to learn to stand up to bullying, but it's also to learn about the background stories of people. Why did something come to be the way it is? Like, for example, when somebody gets bullied by somebody, that person who's bullying, what triggered them to become a bully? How did this happen in the first place? Is there any possible way that we can potentially reverse that and make that person's life better and help them become a better person instead of being a bully? I think that one of the biggest struggles that many schools and kids fail to understand these days is to understand each other and where everybody comes from, Because when I was growing up, I suffered a lot of people not really understanding how I was feeling and that I was sad. When they saw me sad, they made the situation worse instead of finding out what's the problem, why is this happening, how can we resolve this so that you can become happier,
Right.
And that's the big problem I think people fail to understand, which is understanding background stories. And if we can understand background stories, it could make the biggest difference anybody can,
Absolutely. It's important, that people know that there are times when you're in that valley, and there are some amazing lessons that you have to learn when you're there to get to the mountaintop. But very few people come back and say, okay, this is what I experienced. I'd like to share and also teach how you can get to the other place. So I'm happy that you're here now to say, what, I'm successful, but you know what, this is what I've learned, and this is how you can overcome too some adversity.
Yeah, of course. And that's why I say all the time, I became happy. I want to motivate others to become happy. If I was given this privilege, why not help share it with other people? If I could change someone's life for the better, if I can maybe make a huge difference in someone's life, not only children, but adults too. Why not?
Why not? Why not? Who are the people in your circle who shaped that kind of character that you have? I know a lot of it is intrinsically motivated. You were, born that way. But who shaped this incredible personality you have?
So I have a variety of people who inspire me very much. I will list one of them as, I would say maybe Kim Kardashian. She inspired me in the business sense to always remember to put God first,
yes,
and family second and everything else third, and to appreciate blessings every day,
right,
and to be thankful for all that you have every day. And not only that, but also to work very, very hard, and to be very consistent and never expect anybody to give you anything,
right,
never expect to be treated differently, never demand anything. Let life run its course naturally, and let everything happen to you naturally, because whatever's meant for you will be for you.
Absolutely. That is so true. Very pearls of wisdom. Absolutely. And I have to say, I was born in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I came to Canada when I was 3 years old. So you can imagine lots of changes, right? A new language, new climate. So I too had some instances of being bullied because I didn't have a lot of people who looked like me in my neighborhood. But just like you, I took those early childhood experiences, and it taught me to not only overcome and to have a thicker skin in certain situations, but also to say that whenever I had a moment to teach, I could reflect on that to help other people. So it became a service. People thought one way, but the result was it just made me a better person. And I'm hearing it's the same for you.
Yeah, and that's so important, because if you rise above negativity as much as you can, like as what happens to Nolan, you see how he gets picked on and he ignores all those bullies, and in the end, all the people that bully him are all suffering. So his parents and the teachers and the classmates, and that's kind of why I teach about karma and understanding what goes around comes around. If you act bad, you suffer. If you act good, you get rewarded. And it may not be right at the minute, but it could happen eventually. And this is something a lot of people don't understand, unfortunately. And so it has been my dream to kind of help people understand that and how powerful karma is, because it does come a long way when it comes to being good to people and helping people, as opposed to harming people. Harming people, there's always punishment at the end. And it may not happen at the beginning, but it may happen sooner before you know.
There's always a consequence to every behavior.
Yes.
Right? So you are a champion for kindness.
Yes.
So tell me, what is kindness to you, and how can you teach others to be kind?
I'm very glad you're asking me that. Kindness is when you understand people's situations, as well as when you make sacrifices for the sake of other people's happiness and their well-being. And I've always dedicated myself to doing that, because I always say that if I could be the one understanding somebody and they feel understood, and that could lead them to becoming happy or living a better life,
right,
then I feel like a hero. That makes me happy.
Yes.
Then that makes me rise above everything. And, it's always important as well to encourage the public in general to understand kindness and to perform it, because it really can come a long way. Sometimes people get so afraid and people think, oh, but I'm going to get taken advantage of, or this and that. They need to understand, no matter what you do, at least if you do your good deed,
yes,
at least you will get rewarded. And,
right,
sometimes people, they hold back. I want to encourage other people to not hold back and to show people, I'm there to help, I'm there to make a difference, I'm there to make the world a better place. And if they can do that, their lives will be so much better.
Absolutely. And in that same idea, it's also good to be kind to yourself. A lot of people
100%, yes.
they understand the value of giving to others, but sometimes they can, have an empty love tank. And it's so important to refuel.
Oh, 100%. You can't really love anyone else unless you love yourself first. Right, that's why I mentioned about understanding self-worth in the book. Because when you realize how important you are and that you rise above bullies and negativity as much as you can, you realize that other people's negativity is not your problem. It comes more from them having their own problems. It has nothing to do with you. And so if you know you're not to blame because of someone's bad behavior and you're able to rise above it and still stay positive and be strong and love yourself, that's a very powerful thing. And it would come very far if people can acknowledge that, especially kids. You know, they're our future generation, and they should learn to love themselves, and they should encourage others to love themselves. And that way they'll grow up to be happy as adults and live better lives. And at the end of the day, as you mentioned, all about changing the world for the better, you know, we want the future generation to grow up to be happy as adults so that they pass that on to the future generation and the next generation after. And that's how we're going to make the world a better place.
I agree, 100%. What do you think, audience? Yes. They're nodding and smiling. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, amen to that for sure. And I have to say, totally impressed with the Guinness World Record. You are a title holder. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so long before I became known, I used to go to this arcade. I still do sometimes here and off and on, Dave & Buster's, and I used to win a lot of tickets.
Oh, I like Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I didn't win as much when I first started, but as I started coming more often, I got really good at the games. And then eventually I thought in my mind, maybe I should do something that involves the whole world with this talent that I developed on and this skill that I worked on. And then I decided, I thought maybe to have the most tickets, but I realized that can't be a world record. So they recommended me to do a serpentine line of arcade tickets. And so I did. And Dave & Buster's sponsored the paper tickets because at the time they did it, the tickets were already discontinuing, and now they're fully discontinued. So it's much harder for somebody now to beat the record now, more so than anything. The only thing about this record is that it didn't really go viral or anything. I mean, I got a certificate, but it's not like it went all over the press and the news and everything like that. It was just kind of a borderline accomplishment. But it's still, an accomplishment is an accomplishment, as I always say. Count your blessings.
You are in the Guinness World Book. That is a big deal.
It is.
Not too many names there, but your name is there. So that's a huge accomplishment. Yeah, congratulations. When was that?
It was in the November of 2017.
Okay, great. So are you going to be trying to get back in the book with another world record?
Oh, no. I'm done with that.
You're done with that.
For me, I'm all about my kindness mission. I'm all about promoting positivity and helping people. And I want to stick to making a difference with every other project that I have to offer, including my brand Kindness for Success and everything else that I have to offer. Whatever comes by, whatever opportunity comes by, I want it to pertain to inspiring others and helping others and just trying to change other people's lives for the better. My life changed for the better. Let's share that and make other people's lives change for the better.
I love that. Fantastic. All right, kindness. I love that.
Kindness for success.
For success. So can you tell us, one, where people can purchase the book?
Yeah, so my book's available on multiple media outlets, book outlets specifically. But my recommendation would always be Amazon because it's the safest.
Mine. Yes.
The safest. And if people want to also find out about me, they can look on my site, darkjosephravine.com. Find out everything about me and what I'm all about and how I want to be the one making a difference in people's lives. And I do hope that with everybody who sees this, that we can all help make the world a better place and promote kindness, and also people to learn how much being good to people will come a long way and will lead to rewards. And also to love yourself above anything.
Love yourself, know your self-worth. I love that.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Joseph.
Of course.
You're the best. Really, I appreciate your
much.
time, and I congratulate you on everything you've done.
Thank you so much.
You
really
inspire me. Awesome. All right, Dark Joseph Ravine, please purchase his book. I got my copy. Go to Amazon and also follow him on social media. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much
and
for
thank you for
having me.
watching. See you next time.